We're live at Cannery Row with the Cannery Row Show. This is your host, California James Ogle, along with author L.K. Samuels. He is recently has recently completed his book in defense of chaology. Here is the cover.
Well, that is the proof.
The proof.
Yeah, there we go.
And you can see, this is the proof. The book is coming out.
After only about 20 years, finally, I have a cover of the show.
A 20-year project, and we have the exclusive story right here on the Cannery Row Show, California. So, Lawrence, in defense of chaos. Now, the chaology of politics, economics, and human action. Chaos really gets a bad rep, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And unfortunately, because you can't survive without chaos. In a nutshell, what chaos and order is. And it's kind of a yin-yang, it's kind of dynamics, you need both of them. You can't have order without chaos. A lot of people don't like chaos because going to a place for the first time, it's kind of uneasy. So, but to have ability to repeat it over again, you've got to go to the place first. You've got to do your first book, first painting, first try.
It's a way to explore, really.
It's a way to explore. Chaos is, in a sense, creativity. It's creation. This is how things begin. I talk in my book about a study done by two physicists, and they studied the movements of the planets, and they wanted to predict where it would be in maybe 3 or 4 million years. Guess what? There's so much changing of the planets and so much things they don't know that they don't know where the planets will be in 3 or 4 million years. So the planets are not that organized or not that orderly. It does strange things in orbits. This recent satellite that shot to the moon, 2 satellites to check out the kind of strange gravitational behavior of the moon. They don't understand it. And so here's the planets, you think they're like clockwork, like Newtonian mechanics, and it's not. Computer systems.
Yeah, you could apply this to economics, for example, like you're saying, computer systems and Microsoft and Apple.
Government didn't pick the operating system of Microsoft. The public, you voted with your wallet. There are hundreds of operating systems. I had to deal with them. I was a typesetter, and I was trying to capture the copy. I had an Osborne and Apple and all these other computers, and I was trying to get it over to my typesetting machine, so we didn't have to retype it. I used ASCII basically to get it over, but I couldn't get the fonts, I couldn't get the size, and so nothing was really communicated. But eventually a system came along, and now we pretty well communicate with any computer almost.
The economy, if government just sort of left it alone, are you saying that it
generally would? It would take a little while, but it will do it. It has to self-correct. You get a bubble, and before the Federal Reserve came in, most recessions lasted maybe a year and a half. Most of the stock market Wall Street was affected on Main Street, and prices would go down quickly. People would buy them up, and then all of a sudden the economy would shoot back up. The Federal Reserve came in there, which is kind of quasi-government, quasi-private, and they were supposed to stop these ups and downs. Well, the next down was the Great Depression, 10 years. And Bernanke actually admitted it was the Federal Reserve that caused the Great Depression. Not chaos, not market economics, it was the Federal Reserve. Putting out too much money in the beginning and not enough after the crash.
Well, let's talk about swarm intelligence. Your book touches on that a little bit.
That's a whole chapter on it. That was started back in about 1989. It was to hook up a lot of robots and kind of let them see the world and make decisions, not without telling it much to do. They wanted to see if this is part of artificial intelligence.
And who is doing this?
A couple of scientists, about I think 3 scientists. And what they found out is that many dumb things, can come up with intelligent responses, as they call collective wisdom. shared knowledge. They go around, you can get one robot over there, one robot over there, and they can see kind of what's happening. And then they said, well, wait a minute, there's these social animals that are similar to them, ants and bees. So they started to study and say, are they controlled by this one intelligence, this shared knowledge? And they found out, yes. But the amazing part is they discovered the queen ant, queen bee, just lays an egg. There is no central command. It just kind of happens, spontaneous order. The ants or bees go out and they find something, and they tell the hive what's happening. They build tunnels, they build little structures up and down. I mean, it's like this one termite species in Zimbabwe with these huge mounds you've seen on TV. They have to have their fungus. They gather fungus or leaves, I think, bring down. The fungus has to be about 68 degrees or something, or within a couple of degrees. And of course, at nighttime out there, it's 100 degrees at night, it could be 30 degrees at night. Well, they've opened chambers and let certain air come over here and other air come over here, this temperature, and they can make the temperature even down below. They even did a building, built a pretty good sized commercial building in Zimbabwe years ago, based on this system. So, here they can build these structures, they have organization, and yet no central command. Very decentralized. The ants can make decisions, the bees can make decisions, it's not groupthink. But here's the thing I don't think would last long. When you're dumb, you're not thinking too much in the abstract like humans. Human thought is abstract thought. So if you can't really do abstract thought, when you go out there and see something, you're going to see it pretty well the way it is. Now, humans often, when they look at something, they look at it what it could be, what it might be, not exactly what it is. In other words, they can kind of fit. And so the difference here is that they're getting real information coming back to the hive, where humans will often lie for many different reasons. In fact, the smarter you are, in a way, the more you're in the abstract thinking, the more you're tempted to tell people things that are not what they are. That's the interesting part about this. I go into that a little bit. I go into the idea of errors. Errors are important in society. In other words, you have to allow people in a society or in these colonies the ability to make errors. Why? For example, the bee, when the bee finds some new pollen source, they will come back and do a dance. And the dance is instructions to where the new source is. However, about 5 to 10% of the bees get it wrong. They fly somewhere else. But if they didn't, the colony would die because there'd be no new sources. Again, that chaos again. They're not sure if it's an accident.
By making the errors, they actually help the colony survive.
Not all scientists think they're errors. Some think, well, maybe it's just the way it is, they're going a little to the left of that or to the right of that. But most think it's sort of an error. They didn't get the language right. But they need that new source. And they wouldn't survive. So the error is important.
Be sure to check out L.K. Samuel's book, In Defense of Chaos, available soon on Amazon.com.
And also on my website. I have a writer's website. It'll be up soon. It's about another month or two before it's printed. It's going to go out in a few days to the printer.
And your website is called?
What is it? LKSamuels.com.
LKSamuels.com.
And then I have 3 W's, freedom1776.com.
Freedom1776.com.